Zuko wasted years chasing the Avatar, even disrespecting Iroh, who is so wise and strong Giga Chad.
Oh yeah!
That people simp for him more than they simp for a super sexy babe.
My favorite character in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I think all media.
Iroh, in my opinion, is the best character in the entire Avatar series.
One of the greatest characters in all of fiction.
Nevertheless, Season 1 Zuko dared to mock Iroh for how silly he is.
Try this kick.
Don't have time to stuff my face. I must capture the Avatar.
While you do that, I'll capture another slice.
You sicken me.
Of course, in Zuko's place, we would listen to the ultimate Daddy Iroh from the get-go, because we are not blind. Moreover, we would simp proudly for him. To spread the gospel of how awesome Iroh is, we would like this video with our
magic fingers.
So what caused Season 1 Zuko to act so differently from us? It is like a small child wearing high-quality clothes that are meant for a grown-up. Because the clothes are so unfit, they make it hard to move and cause to trip, turning into irritation and eventually into a rejection of the clothes, even if it means wearing rags again, just because they fit. Similarly is with the rejection of great ideas, which fundamentally contradict the worldview. Confronting that what was perceived as an unshakable truth, in the reality is a lie, can be as devastating shock as being stabbed by a knife. Poor fools not knowing how pleasurable can be a consensual stabbing. Luckily, the small child can grow into the clothes, making capable of enjoying the high quality, but it takes time and gradual change. We could see the same with Zuko's development.
Hello? Hey, I'm in the wrong Springfield.
How can you forgive me so easily? I thought you would be furious with me.
Oh yeah!
I was never angry with you. I was sad because I was afraid you lost your way.
If only Zuko saw the truth faster, he would have saved years of his life, such as chasing girls, instead of the Avatar. Sadly, we too have our blind spots like Zuko had, wasting our time by chasing illusions. But there is a path, giving abilities similar to Neo. So if you wish to much more enjoy life by seeing beyond the illusions, letting go of the lies, being able to vastly transcend previous limits, then listen carefully. Remember how simp Zuko unquestionably wished to gain Ozai's approval.
Notice me, senpai!
And how after Chad formation Zuko showed Ozai, who is the boss.
You are alive because I chose to. Weakling, what are you gonna do about me disrespecting you?
Emotional, damn it!
It was possible because Zuko started to question the status quo.
For so long I thought that if my dad accepted me, I'd be happy. I'm back home now, my dad talks to me. He even thinks I'm a hero. Everything should be perfect, right? I should be happy now, but I'm not.
That is why the first step is to confront that. Similarly to the Matrix, people believe that what they see is the reality. That is why we need to acknowledge that we are surrounded with lies, even regarding very fundamental things we do not question. And even at this point, so many people fail, because they cannot withstand the discomfort, the heat from how hot is the truth. But the thing is, if you do not know, you can be violated in so many ways, and will do nothing about it. But if you know, then you can figure out something. Even play an Uno reverse card. Now try to be aware of how you feel hearing the following statement. To be happy, you do not need to be rich, famous, super productive, good-looking, have the other half, be remembered by the next generations, and so on. It can even be detrimental to happiness to have these things. If you feel resistance, rejection, then it is totally normal, because the same way as Zuko was brainwashed by Fire Nation's propaganda, we too have been taught that by getting things like these, we will be happy. I too am affected by this virus of the mind. When I am very hard on myself for not having a productive day, the trick is to acknowledge and sit with it, because the more we try to suppress something, the stronger it returns. Instead of having a constant war within ourselves, wasting so much energy, we need to unite our various parts, so they work together for a common goal. That is why it is much better to have gentle self-talk, such as, "Thank you for letting me know my current limits, but I need to grow to enjoy life even more." It is just a feeling. How we perceive it is up to us. For example, many famous sportists before competitions perceive their heightened state as being excited, not as being nervous. That is, choosing positivity over negativity. The second step.
It's time for you to begin asking yourself the big questions.
Why you have no drip and zero. By developing an analytical mindset to notice the underlying code of this reality. Super valuable power-up, which can upgrade the brain's base stats, such as perception, and an ability to break down complex things. So just become computer overlord, that is, learn programming. There are many super easy and free tutorials such as Kids Can Code, The only KKK you need to know. For instance, I prefer making games on Godot. Did I mention that you will be a god in your own virtual universe, capable of creating and destroying on a whim, dictating laws of physics, not to mention making intelligent creatures? That is why making games train us to have a world-shaping mindset. Also, it parallels how Iroh learned lightning redirection by studying waterbenders.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale.
A human brain is a tool, similar to a computer, so we can upgrade its hardware like raw processing power, and also its software like a way we approach challenges. Also, like in games where we push a button, something happens in a mysterious box and there is an output. By programming games, we can demystify what is happening, seeing the true cause, behind the effect, and afterward, apply the mindset also to real life, such as the if function. For example, if we have less than the threshold needed to satisfy a desire, then we will feel lacking, such as hungry or thirsty. Else, if we have reached the threshold, then we will feel satisfied. Else, if we overexceed the threshold, then we will feel overwhelmed, such as bloated and stomach pain from eating too much. As we see, there are two variables to be satisfied: how much we have and the threshold needed to satisfy a desire. So to be happier, we need to have more or lower the threshold. I advocate for the second option, because the first option also causes inflation of the threshold, due to the qualities of the hardware, and with it running in a hamster wheel. Moreover, similar to computers, we too have software viruses in our brains. Luckily, there is an antivirus. The third step is to identify and crush limits caused by illusions, such as, to be happy you need to be rich, famous, super productive, good-looking, have the other half, be remembered by the next generations, and so on.
Who decided that?
Is it your own destiny? Or is it a destiny someone else has tried to force on you?
Cognitive behavioral therapy is really great for it. Start by identifying a toxic belief, false limit.
Catastrophizing, black and white thinking. Depressed and anxious people have a way of constructing these beliefs that I'm bad, the future is bad, and they're mutually reinforcing.
I must capture the Avatar to regain my honor!
Such as if you compliment people, they will fall madly in love with you, cannot keep their hands off a snack like you, and you will die from all that lovemaking. Afterward, argue the belief with logic and contradictory examples. Like that time you complimented another person, but you managed to live to tell the tale. Afterward, substitute with a better belief, such as if you will genuinely compliment people, you will make your and their day brighter. Dear viewer, you really have
magic fingers
capable of making my day brighter, such as by commenting, like Potato Vert, Malcolm Cooks and many other mad lads have done.
That's a spicy meatball!
Of course, similarly to Zuko, to reverse years, if not decades-long brainwashing, it will take months, if not a few years of daily mental exercises. Still remember, the same way you grew up from a little baby, you too will grow into a gigachad like Iroh, so be armed with patience and self-forgiveness. Moreover, if you wish to see Iroh's journey from simp to pimp, then enjoy this video. But if you wish to uncover a mindset capable of destroying big companies, then if you dare, watch this video.